Morning, folks. Out here in the middle of Pocomoke City, Maryland, going back to a super secret pond. Hopefully I can catch a couple fish, but we'll see. So I'm making my way back here. It's about, from the main river, maybe about a 10-15 minute like troll up here. And the only reason I came back here is because on the main river it's pretty high, but I can already see that the water's running out of this pond pretty good. So I might only have about half an hour to 45 minutes to fish this before it's too shallow for me to get out. So I'm going to try and make a couple quick hits in here, see if I can get a few fish or maybe even a small limit back here, and then get back out on the main river as the tide starts rolling out. It's been raining the last couple days and the water's a little bit high on the river itself, but I'm hoping that maybe in the next hour or two the water will really start pumping out of there and get the fish moving around. And I'll be honest, without that water moving out on the main river, that these tidal fish will not really bite. They'll just sit there and kind of have lockjaw. But here I am, I'm coming up here to the end. The depth is reading like 2 to 4 feet, but I think it gets a little bit deeper out here past this bridge. I think the depth should go to about like 5 to 7 feet. Man, good one. Beep. That is what you call the agony beeping defeat, dude. And it's bleeding. God damn. Here, let me see if I can kick it out. There we go. And it bled all over my boat, too. So that beep sucks. And it bled all over my nice chatterbait. And on this episode of Catching Catfish with Nestor, just that kind of year with the bass fishing. Actually, the last 3 years with my largemouth bass fishing. And technically, I think I've caught just as many largemouth bass as catfish. That's how much it sucked. I might just give this up in like maybe about 20 minutes. I mean, I really wanted to come in here and catch my limit because I've done it before. And there are tons of bass in here. They're little ones, but big enough to keep. You seem to be a deadly cat fisherman versus being a bass fisherman, so I think I had a little bass on that one. Yeah, little bass. Oh. Little bass. See that? This place should be loaded with them. Got one. That's gonna be a keeper. Not bad. Again, I probably should work this a little bit harder, but man, the more time I spend in here, the more time I risk getting caught stuck in here. So I'm gonna be disciplined. I got one back here. I'll probably just work this edge 2 more times and then get out of here because I don't want to get stuck. I mean, it looks like we're about a foot down from high tide. I think I've got enough water to get out of here. Man, there are tons of sticks out there. I just can't seem to get them. I think here comes Scott, I think. Scott Sewell, the club president. I got one keeper and I got one pickerel. I've gotten like a total of 3 bass. I went all the way down there to that pond and I thought I'd catch my limit down there, but they were really slow. Yeah, I was the first one in there, and then another guy followed me or came in right after I went out.
I've been throwing a spinnerbait. I caught them 3 short trout.
On a spinnerbait?
Yeah.
I haven't gotten anything on a spinnerbait. Come on, man. Way. Hey guys, next morning, I didn't do that great yesterday. I caught one big one, actually the big one of the day, which was like 2 3/4, but I only ended up with only a couple fish, like 3 keepers, so it was a real slow day for me. This is the next morning, it's Sunday. I just caught a huge stinking pickerel, and it was like the biggest one I've ever gotten. I'd say it was at least a good 5 or 6 pounder. It was pretty big, but I'm gonna see if I can do a couple more on top water. I'm really surprised. I've never done this well on top water. I got this new whopper plopper. Have you guys ever seen this guy? It's a new whopper plopper. Anyway, I've gotten a couple blow ups on this thing this morning. Yesterday what worked for me was just throwing your stumps and anything with wood. I really didn't get anything of size yesterday, but oh well, I did get one that was a good size, but I lost it right at the boat as usual. It's been that kind of year. One little bass. First one today. Gosh darn. Gosh darn. All weekend, this little Kitech has been getting demolished. I'm gonna put it one more time on this last one before I leave here from the Pocomoke and see if I can get another keeper on this one. I mean, I would definitely recommend these Kitechs, but gosh, they're so fragile. I mean, as soon as you throw it in, if they get bit even by a little bluegill, they're done, torn apart. But when you're having a tough bite like it's been a little bit on the Pocomoke this week, confidence right there. I think the Kitech, this price, I think it was like $5 or $6 for 8 of them. And I mean, so expensive, but the action, and I think it just, when it's tough, it just makes anything bite it. Sundays on a 2-day tournament are always tough, but just could not seem to piece it together both days. Last year when I was here, I caught 5. This year I could not get any kind of rhythm going, except with this Kitech. And even with the Kitech, I just couldn't nail the big ones. The tide's going pretty good. It's pulling out a lot better than it did yesterday, that's for sure. A good catching tide is the incoming tide. I don't get that. You would think that the outgoing tide would be the place to be, but that's not necessarily true. The water's a little bit warm for this time of September. I mean, usually by now the water's closer to 60, but today it's about 72, and I think that these fish are just a little bit weird. I think they're almost in a semi-summer pattern, so they're just kind of hanging out by the trees, whereas the majority of them, that's where I'm finding them, in the trees. In fact, all of them I'm finding in the trees. None of them out on the stumps in the middle of the river where they're usually in this time of year. But the way the weather's been, kind of weird, warm, very wet, they're actually closer out into this wood. Me, I just like to throw on the edge of pads and just let it sink down to those stumps, or crank it down to those stumps. It just wasn't happening this time. Pickerel I got this morning, man, that was stinking huge. Whopper plopper, I think I missed 2 of them. There was one big blow up. I tried to set the hook. I got caught on a lily pad, and I had another one, and then I went to the back toward this kind of like cypress pine island, and it threw back into there. Huge blow up. Waited like 5 seconds, set the hook, and man, I thought, oh dude, I'm gonna have probably the biggest bass of the day. Nope, it was a pickerel, a huge pickerel, more head than body. All right, I think I'm gonna do this last stump over here and call it a day. Occasional flashes of brilliance, but nothing but persistent ineptitude. All right, that's gonna do it for me. I'm done. It's been a long day or a long weekend. Tough fishing, grinding it out, catching mostly small fish and no big ones.